Are you guys ready for your close-up? Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here at Traces of Hollywood. As you can tell, we are doing a video about one of the biggest film stars of all time, Gloria Swanson. So most of us know Gloria Swanson as playing Norma Desmond in the 1950 film Sunset Boulevard, but she was also the biggest star of the silent film era, arguably. And while most people didn't make the transition to talkies very well, she actually did, and she made quite a few movies in both genres. And like most people of that era, once you reach a certain age, Hollywood doesn't call you as often, which is kind of what's been reflected in the movie Sunset Boulevard. So she did have a bit of a hard time, and it was said that she was down to $27 in her bank account at one point, but she made some wise investments, and potentially this was one of them. This was her earliest home in the desert, and it was her little getaway from Hollywood. But you can stay here today. It's a private luxury hotel for 14 guests, it says on their website. And it's called the Amin Casa. And as always, I'll put all the information and some links in the description so you guys can have a look at this if you might want to stay here at some point. Now, just so it's said, I have no connection with this property. I don't get any commissions if you stay here. This is all just for your own information. But I believe a couple who were Gloria Swanson fans found out about this property and bought it when it came up on the market as a private home. And they decided to turn it into a boutique hotel, which I think is very cool. And if you go to the website link that I give, you'll be able to see some photos inside. Here it is originally when it was built. And like a lot of things in Palm Springs, there wasn't anything else around it back in the 20s and 30s. So I'll read from their flyer as you guys have a look around here with me. Amin Casa Palm Springs is an iconic hotel brilliantly reinvented for the 21st century, where the glamour of 92 years of history sparkles with a new luster. Embodying the luxury of life in Palm Springs, this impressive property originally included the main residence and guest house. The garden compound dated to the 1920s and 30s and was once the Palm Springs home of Hollywood screen legend and award-winning actress Gloria Swanson. And yes, it has been rumored that Joe Kennedy slept here. Superbly planned and scaled gardens, Amin Casa provides a stunning setting for a memorable and relaxing stay. This beautiful resort has 4 private bungalows, each with 1 bedroom and a full kitchen. Also available is a pool studio suite with an efficiency kitchenette, and it overlooks the pool area. The premier and most sought-after accommodation at Amin Casa is the original residence of Gloria Swanson, encompassing a grand and elegant living space with 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. That was very well written. I will give them that. It's certainly an inviting piece of text. I would love to stay there at some point. Now, according to the flyer, it said Joe Kennedy slept here, and you guys might know I don't know if it's substantiated or not. I guess it pretty much is historically, but there's the old cliche that, women will marry wealthy men for their money. And it was quite the opposite, because when Gloria Swanson was, again, very wealthy after her investments, Joe Kennedy of, yes, those Kennedys, the famous Kennedy family, apparently married her for her money and then proceeded to spend almost all of it. And of course that led to a divorce, as you could well imagine. Here's that beautiful pool area. Presumably that's the studio, or at least some of the rooms that look out onto it. And here is an aerial 3D map view of the Swanson estate. You can see a little bit better the layout, where the pool is in relation, and where it is in the context of the neighborhood. It's exciting to me that such a piece of Hollywood history still remains, and not just remains, but hasn't been completely redone, renovated, lost its character. The folks who own this did a great job in preserving the estate. Our next stop is over in the Movie Colony neighborhood, which is appropriately named, and tons of celebrities have lived here. We'll be doing videos about more of those people in the future. But that's the old Hutton estate, and just past this white wall, starting here, is what's known as the Gloria Swanson tennis estate. I love the very classical front door here. Unfortunately, the lighting looks to be being renovated, but definitely suitable for someone of Gloria's stature. She lived here much later in life. This property she owned during the late 70s. And it was called the tennis estate because it has a very lovely tennis court. But again, I'll let you just take a moment here to take in the property. Here's where she would enter in her, well, who knows what car. I've seen that she's had several Rolls Royces over the years, specifically Silver Clouds, if you happen to be interested in cars like I am. And I did see that at least 2 of her Rolls Royces were for sale recently. She was a beautiful lady throughout her entire life, I feel. I'm sure a lot of you agree. Here's the house itself. You can see this from the street. I was not invited in. There's the gate. Here's some classical palm trees. But this is what you can see from the street. And I love her style, just a true one of a kind. And that is certainly reflected in her homes here in Palm Springs. Thank you always for joining me on these tours. And just a quick reminder that I'm new to YouTube and my channel's not monetized yet. So if you can hit subscribe, it'll really help the channel grow. Thanks and see you next time.